Hey kids, it's good to be back with you for one of my magical lessons today. I'm Pastor John, and today we're going to be talking about one of the great miracles of Jesus, how he multiplied 2 fish and 5 barley loaves to feed a crowd of people. 5,000 were in that crowd. The story is told in the 6th chapter of the Gospel of John. A crowd of people had gathered to hear Jesus preach, and Jesus was on a mountainside near the Sea of Galilee. The crowd had been there so long that the people started to get hungry. There was no McDonald's nearby. All there was this mountain, green grass, and the water. And Jesus asked Philip how they were going to feed so many people. Philip didn't think that 8 months' wages would be enough to feed them. Wow. That's a big crowd. That's how they're going to do that. Then a little boy came to the disciple Andrew, and Andrew brought the boy to Jesus. Let me illustrate what happens for you. This morning, I brought a little pouch with me, and this pouch is going to represent this little boy's lunch. And he came and offered Andrew his lunch, and Andrew brought it to Jesus, and what Jesus is going to do with this lunch. Now, this lunch here in this pouch, there are 5 loaves of barley. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loaves of barley. And there's 2 fish. Where's one of my fish? Did I get all my fish out of there? Must have missed the fish. There's the fish. And 2 fish. So we've got 2 fish, and let me show you. There's my pouch. And I'm going to put the fish back here in the pouch for right now. Fish. And here are my barley loaves. What Jesus did when the little boy brought the barley loaves to him is he took those 5 loaves and he began to pray over them and asked the Father to bless that food to be given to the people. And after he had blessed that, he started passing the food out. And I just noticed here, there's a fish, which I already thought I'd put in here. Now let me put that fish back in there. And how many barley loaves were there? There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barley loaves. Now you'll remember that Peter, James, and John were friends, and they were the inner circle of disciples of Jesus. And so let's give 1 barley loaf to Peter, 1 to James, and 1 to John, so they can start passing them out to the folks. And let's count our loaves here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barley loaves left. Okay? So we got 5 barley loaves left. Oh well. Andrew, Philip, and Bartholomew were another 3 disciples, and Jesus gave each of them a barley loaf. And we have left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barley loaves. What's happening here? All right. Matthew, Thomas, and James, the son of Alphaeus, were another three of the disciples, and Jesus gave each of them some bread. And there's 1, 2, and 3 barley loaves. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loaves of bread left. I got to go back to school. Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot were another 3 disciples, and Jesus gave each of them some bread as well. And so that's 1 for Thaddeus, 1 for Simon, and 1 for Judas Iscariot. And so he gave them each some bread. And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barley loaves still left. And Jesus is still passing it out. About that time, Peter, James, and John are collecting leftovers. So let me give each of them a loaf. Let's see, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3 barley loaves. And how many barley loaves do we have left? Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barley loaves left. And we haven't even looked at the fish yet. We already know that those 2 fish have become 3, but let's see what we got. There's another fish. Let me hold it this way so you can see it. And another fish, and another fish, and another fish, and another fish. Every one of the disciples is going to get a fish to pass out, and as it passes out to the whole crowd, 5,000 people are blessed. There's bread and fish left over besides that fill baskets for each one of the disciples. How did this miracle happen? Because Jesus thanked God and blessed the food that came from the generosity of a young boy. Maybe a young boy about the age of any of you. A boy who had come to Andrew and offered what he had to be blessed by Jesus. You know, when we offer to Jesus what we have, he can multiply it in amazing ways. Now, the next day, another crowd gathered, and Jesus talked to them about the bread of life that comes down from God the Father. Our Heavenly Father is the source of all of our blessings. And one of the blessings that our Heavenly Father has sent us is Jesus. You see, Jesus is the bread of life for each of us. It's Jesus who gives us His Word that nourishes us and empowers our life. Jesus is the bread of life. Read His Word every day and it will strengthen you. That's the food that will multiply day after day and never run out. God bless you today.